Hmm. Uh, we're gonna finish up on my last three shoeborns on Lighthouse, and then hopefully slide over to Ground Zero. Finish them up there. And then I think all I have left is Psycho Sniper and Tarkov Shooter Part 8. So we may do that tonight, or we may not. I already did Arena earlier, kind of warmed up a little bit. So yeah, we'll push on.
Around 3 a.m. on September 5th, 1981, a woman drove through a housing development in Lakeland, Florida. With her was her two friends, who had both agreed to spend the night at her duplex. And for this woman, this was a massive relief, because the idea of spending a night alone in her house right now was just terrifying, because the night before, there had been a murder committed right nearby. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place, because that's all we do, and we am on September 3rd, 1981. 31-year-old Linda Slayton stood in her kitchen in Lakeland, Florida, staring into her cupboard. It was almost completely empty, except for a few cans of beans and a bag of flour. And seeing this gave Linda a pit in her stomach, because she knew she would somehow have to turn these sparse ingredients into a meal for her kids. Linda was a single mother of two boys, Jeff, who was 15, and Tim, who was 12. And Linda didn't have very much money. And so in order to take care of her kids, she had to be resourceful, like, finding a way to make food with whatever ingredients she had, and she also would make her kids their own clothing, anything to save money. Now, up until a few weeks ago, the family had lived in Alabama.
Holy fucking balls, that was a quick load in. I think that was like 3 minutes. Probably even less. We'll probably keep, what is it, 8 o'clock? We'll probably keep the stream up for like 3 hours or so. I'm gonna get some sleep. I have work tomorrow and whatnot. Scurry along, you fucking little turds! Papa coming right now. I think I only need 2 more on this map. I do. I feel like if I'm too still up over here, I'm gonna get shot in the head. Alright, we're pushing. I don't know where these bastards went, to be honest. They might have pushed up towards water treatment. That window is not supposed to be broke, I don't believe. There's bullet holes in there, too. That's one. There's two when I saw earlier, though. Keep them inside. These guys were 100% teammates, dude. I don't... Were they fighting each other? Or like, what the fuck was going on? We're just gonna have to push it. I have to hit fire. What the there was someone in here hiding, dude. One killed the other.
Shit!
Fuck! I literally saw the bullet kill me, dude. This gun is just not that great at distance, but it's whatever. So I went to the top of the hill and went, oh no, AK-12. I did not hit those dudes. I went to the top of the hill I shot at them. They both ran over into the uh, lake house, and it seems to me there was already one fucking dude in there hidden. That dude killed one of the two guys I had shot at initially. The other dude killed him. That dude ended up tossing his teammates' gear, and then I pulled up after leaving the hill, killed that guy, and the other two men probably spawned at Southern or something, and I guess we can put it in there. Oof, I did reorganize this. Away.
Wealthy. What's good?
What up, Posh?
I saw you
But Linda
here
had
by
moved-
yourself. Moment between games.
I'm just sniping.
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm fucking hammered, bro.
Are you really? You sounded kind of a little tired,
Yeah.
to be honest, man. What are you drinking on?
No, dude. Whiskey. I love whiskey.
Yeah, well,
I
whiskey
like half
loves
a
you
bottle.
too, dude. You drank like half a
I
bottle?
like- Yeah, I had like half a bottle of this fucking Fireball, bro. This shit's so
Oh,
good.
Dude, I fucking hate Fireball, man. Well, how big's the bottle, though?
It's shit, how big is this? It's pretty fucking big. The 750 milliliter,
I think that's a normal size,
About-
right? Hold on.
about the size of like a large Diet Coke or large Coca-Cola
750 millimeter or milliliter, right?
milliliter. Yeah, it's a lot of alcohol.
You just chilling out drinking it or what?
Yeah, I got off a 24-hour shift, and then I'm like, I went and had dinner with a friend, and then I came back here. I was like, I'm drinking tonight.
Oh, dude, I've had Fireball, man. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. The only liquor I'm kind of not a big fan of, but the only liquor I really kind of like is, I get shit on because it's like cheap, but Jameson though, dude. Like, oh, that shit's cheap. I'm like, bro, Jameson is the only liquor that doesn't set my fucking chest on fire, bro.
Oh yeah, my stomach's feeling rather rumbly right now.
Oh yeah,
A
dude.
rumbly
I mean, that's
stomach.
not just Fireball, man. It's like everything, dude. Some shit you drink, you're just like, dude, am I drinking fucking gasoline right now? Like,
I
what
mean,
the
if I
fuck
have
am
like
drinking?
Jack Daniels or something like that, my stomach hurts, but it doesn't burn like this.
Yeah, no, that's
I,
understandable.
s- I suppose it's the cinnamon in the whiskey.
Yep.
There's actually cinnamon in this.
Oh, bro, they have different flavors for Fireball. Blazing apple.
Do they? That sounds fire. I had the like Crown Royale, like green apple or something like that, or it's like Crown Royale blackberry. Yeah. Crown Royale blackberry was fucking insane.
Dude, it was good because
I love
my
that.
my dad, they have a whole bar downstairs in their house, and he's got like 20 or 30 bottles, different liquors in there and whatnot. And I think a few nights before I came back here to Virginia, I was taking a few shots downstairs, and I think it was that blueberry or whatever. I can't remember, bro. It was really fucking good. Different types of Crown.
Yeah. Shit, man. I had a lot of alcohol so far tonight in a very short amount of time.
Well, don't get too
So,
fucked up, man. Do you have work in the morning?
Nope. We're chilling.
Oh, then you'll
No
be
work.
alright. Oh, no, it wasn't that, dude. It was peach, bro. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, my parents had a bottle of Crown Peach. It was like half gone or whatever, but I was taking a few shots of that. I'm like, dude, this is actually really fucking good, dude. I've had Crown Apple before. Crown Apple's not bad. I don't think I've had vanilla or chocolate.
You know what? Oh, you know what's really good that my mom gave to me? Well, I came back. She gave me this liquor called it's a Greek liquor called ouzo. Ouzo.
How do you spell it?
Ouzo.
Ouzo.
O-O-Z-O. O-U-Z-O. Ouzo.
Oh, damn.
It's a
How
funny
is that?
word. It tastes like licorice and not like alcohol.
Oh,
It's
God.
really,
Is it like
really
black licorice?
fucking good. I guess so, but I mean, I don't have a problem with licorice. It's just a very interesting, very,
Like the flavor is
very,
unique?
yeah. It tastes like licorice. It was really good. I had a ton of it.
I have to be careful with liquor, man. I get too fucked up too easily on that. I prefer just to drink beer, to be honest. Liquor just fucks me up too quickly, to be honest.
I'm low Kirkenly surprised I'm still being able to talk well, barely.
At that point, you gotta mix it up, dude. Drink like half a glass of water for every shot or something like that, so you don't have a massive hangover in the morning.
Oh yeah. God, I don't get hangovers.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
I don't know how that's
I've
even
never-
possible, dude. You're not the only
I've
one I've
never
met
had
that doesn't get them either.
Yeah. How's Tarky been? I'm like working myself up the courage to get back on that game, but like low key, my mental health is not in a good enough place to be playing that game right now.
I mean, play whatever makes you happy, to be honest. Tarkov is a stressful fucking game, though, but I don't think it's ever fucked with my mental health before.
Oh, it like totally fucked me over in high school because I got so addicted to that shit. Like,
Oh,
yeah, I
I
got
feel you on it.
yeah. I got so addicted to it, like it was like literally pulling me out of my like friend relationship and shit. It's not like I really have any friends down here. I've got my squad in the military and like nobody else that I know.
Dude,
that
that's-
I don't know any civilians.
That's one thing they don't really tell you, man. It's hard to make civilian friends once you go like active duty. There's a way though, man. Like just volunteering or getting around your neighborhood or just shit like that. To be honest, man.
Yeah, I was like gonna try to start going to like a climbing gym.
Oh, bro, you climb too? So I don't climb. I've climbed in the past, dude. Like we
Yeah,
went on a
yeah,
church trip
I
back in,
have-
like.
I've climbed in the past, but I don't climb anymore. But I'd like to kind of get back into it.
Oh yeah. You just gotta do activities outside the squadron or like your army buddies, man. No, we got some buddies at my shop that there's a few of them that are just addicted to climbing, bro. They go like every day after work and whatnot.
Yeah, man, that shit looks really fun. You can get like really strong doing it too.
Oh yeah, it builds up a lot of like back strength too, upper body strength, man.
Yeah.
So I think it was around 2008. I was in like 7th or 8th grade, and I went on a church retreat up to like Estes down in Colorado, and oh, one sec. Hey, that wasn't nice, guy. Fuck, I don't know where this guy is. Fuck, bro. He's somewhere above. That fucking hurt, bro. He hit me right in the chest.
Is that him by the tree? By the rock on the tree? I'm not gonna tell you shit, because your stream's pretty ass blood.
Oh, I have it as low as humanly possible right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at like 15 FPS.
Are you?
Awful hurts. I don't know. I'm like barely looking at it. Man, bro, these 24-hour shifts are kicking my ass.
Are they?
Yeah, dude. 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. Like, fucking brutal.
I think if I can take on that special duty, the missile alert facility manager position, they do 7 days off and 13 days, or sorry, 7 days on, 24/7, and then they do 13 days off. But of those 13 days off, I don't know why they advertise 13 days off. 3 of the days you have to go to like the squadron and do like training, CVTs, change of command, shit like that. No, change of command.
So
it's really only
work
like 10
7
days.
then
Yeah,
they-
it's really
they
like
fuck
10
you
days
over.
off. Yeah, they advertise 13 days off, but there's like 3 of those 13 you have to go in. I'm like, how's the 13 days off then, dude? It's like, the math just isn't mathing.
But it's like you only have to go in if like they really need you or some.
Yep.
I don't know. Our battalion was supposed to do like a battalion PT tomorrow morning. They are still doing it, but like I get 24 hours of rest after my shift, and since it's at 9 a.m., it falls into 24 hours of rest, so I don't have to do battalion PT. So fuck those motherfuckers and fuck their stupid fucking fuck-ass idea of doing land nav at fucking 5 in the morning when it's cold as fuck out. Dumbass motherfuckers. I know they're fucking rangers, but what the fuck are they thinking? I don't want to fucking do that shit. Nobody wants to fucking do that shit.
Well, I mean, are you on the same
that's
schedule as them or what?
No. The RIs have the ranger instructors. They do their own thing. And then the first sergeant majors, all they got their classic 9 to 5, 4 days a week.
Yep.
It's even that.
They were trying to pull you guys along with it? Well, if you're working 24 hours, it wouldn't make sense for you to go do, their shit, to be honest.
Like the thing is that like, hey, oh, you're supposed to get all of that. You get 24 hours on, and then you get like 24 hours off. And then you can get like called in to do shit on your next day. But typically you don't. But like, they
Kind of on a standby or what?
yeah, just like a standby in case like airborne needs a guy or something. But like, yeah, I don't know what their idea is of doing. It snowed here yesterday, bro. It snowed like 3 inches.
Wait, are you in Georgia?
Yeah.
Alright.
Dude. Yeah.
We didn't get any
So it's
snow up
no-
here in Virginia. Oh, I hear those shots, mother.
You're trying to get like shooterborn down.
I am.
Yeah, I don't see you run a bolt action rifle, so that's just for a reason.
I had to do the bolty earlier, but for my suppress shots. They don't have a suppressor for this, Marlon. What up, 2?
White House?
I am. I have 1 more kill to go. I got one last match. A lob a nade.
I'm on,
Try to lure him
I'm on
out.
the peacekeeping ones.
What the fuck is those shots, dude?
Ground zero.
The what?
I'm on peacekeeping mission, so I have customs interviewing for zero.
Ah.
Those the shots you're talking about? I just unmuted your stream.
Yeah, they're shooting from up there. It sounds like they're fighting. Oh, I got eyes. Come on, guy. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude.
That's crazy.
Fuck, dude. That's whatever. Waste of time is what that was, bro. Well, it sucks.
Shit left.
We got 1 more.
What maps though?
Oh, Lighthouse and Ground Zero. I'm gonna catch this last one and then go to Ground Zero.
Gotcha. I'm gonna do a customs, and then maybe I'll go with you to ground zero. I'll kill the scavs, you kill the PMCs.
Copy. I'm gonna be on 3, maybe 4 hours. I gotta hit the hay. I can't stay up as late as I've been staying up. Damn, dude.
My other friend's getting on the he's getting on the finals, so I'm gonna go.
Ooh, don't
Play
hurt
some of
yourself
that.
over there, man. Drink some water.
Yep. I think I'm gonna drink more Fireball.
Later,
One
Posh.
sec,
Enjoy
one
enjoy
sec.
your 24
I
hours
did
off,
drink
dude.
more. Yeah. 1 sec.
Hello, Snow.
Hello.
Piece of string.
I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, I'll see you later though.
Later, man.
See you in here another time. Peace.
Posh sounds like a sad boy, dude. Damn, dude. I thought I hit that motherfucker in the head. I mean, we're at 4 or 5, so...
So fucking do that.
And maybe I'll go with.
We got one more. Fighting. I got eyes. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. I got eyes. See, outside the scav, I can tell I missed all 3 shots on that scav. I just feel like this should have connected, though. There's his head, right there. He's moving, he's moving. His head is right there. Yeah. If I had just been down just a tad bit. I think I was literally shooting right above his fucking head, dude. Damn. That dude's fighting the other dude that shot at me initially. Just bad aim on my side, man. Maybe I should have went to arena and kind of warmed up a little bit first. I don't know.
To Lakeland, specifically because she had a lot of
All right,
family
I'll be
and
back in a
support
sec.
there. And so Linda had hoped that, because of that support, that, her and her son's lives would, improve quite a bit. It wouldn't feel like such a struggle all the time anymore. But so far, the move to Lakeland had just been more of the same. Linda couldn't find a steady job, so she and the boys had been relying on government assistance and food stamps, which never seemed to be enough to keep these 2 teenagers well fed. And tonight, Linda's youngest son, Tim, was about to be dropped off after being at football practice, and historically, he was very hungry.
And you do that right as I'm stepping away to go take a piss, dude. I fucking appreciate it, dude. Lurk bish. I don't know why, but I think the little bot it's pretty strict when it comes to like certain words. Even bish, dude. Hold on. Maybe it doesn't do bad with me. All right, well, goddamn. Now my right fucking foot is tired. It feels like it's got needles, man. That's why I shouldn't place in that way. Scourge fucking sits in his computer chair with his legs up and then plays, dude. He's fucking weirdo. How you been though, man? Alright, I gotta go pee though.
Hungry after practice, and so she really wanted to have dinner ready for him. And on top of that, Linda was hopeful that Tim and her other son Jeff would eat fast enough that they would have enough time to make it to a neighbor's housewarming party later that night. So all the neighbors around Linda were basically as new as she was, since the complex they lived in had only been open for about 3 weeks. It was the sprawling development with about 80 one-story duplexes that were technically government-subsidized housing, but it felt more like classic suburbia, since the units were on cul-de-sacs with neat lawns where all the kids would go outside and play. Now, Linda's sister also lived in this complex, so Linda already knew at least one person. But to Linda, making friends of her own was also pretty important to her. She was an outgoing person by nature, and also she was newly single and wanted to take her mind off her ex-boyfriend. Until recently, Linda had been dating this guy named Brendan Fowler, who had been great at first and was even the one who told her about this apartment complex. But he started to get really controlling and possessive, and just 2 days ago, Linda had finally ended things. But believe it or not, Linda actually felt sort of hopeful. She had believed that by leaving Alabama and moving to Florida into this complex, that would sort of be the refresh that she and her kids desperately needed. But the truth was, it sort of seemed like actually the true reset had been the breakup with Brendan just a couple of days earlier. Like it all needed to happen.
Oh, nice. We're going in. Oh. I've noticed this other spawn doesn't really push over here. Maybe they corrected the spawns or something, but... Oh, I fucking hope they come this way. Oh, they're coming this way. Got it, baby! Do we even grab his shit? We'll toss this stuff in the river. That was smart of me coming down and going to the right a little bit, dude. He posted up. If I was a betting man, I'm gonna say he was trying to do his shooterborns too. We'll see if he's got a boyfriend or whatnot. Alright, we're going to ground zero. Hopefully we get this done quick as fuck.
Do you think there's a cheat where people know when you're looking at them?
I think with the cheaters, if you're looking in their general direction, it probably tells them too. I think it makes their character like a different shade of red or whatever, or like from green to red or whatnot.
Well, the reason I say something is because this guy was sitting perfectly still, acting super chill, and then I zoomed in on him, and all of a sudden he started freaking out and bouncing left and right, and fucking in and out of cover, and fucking staring right at me, but not shooting at me. I never even pulled the trigger. But at the same time, it's like... And then I looked away from him, and then out of the corner of my eye, I seen him again, just chilling, standing still. I look over in his direction, zoom in, and all of a sudden he starts bouncing around again. It's like, I don't know, man. That just seems super fucking weird.
Yeah, that's a...
But then again, I don't know why he wouldn't be killing me right now.
Fuck, dude. I was trying to toss the bad guy's gear, and another bad guy rolled up, dude. Damn. I could have killed that mother... Well, you know what? It doesn't even really matter anymore. I'm done with my shooterborns. Hopefully, both our gears just rolled in the water. I just didn't think someone was gonna come over to where I fucking spawned at, dude. What the hell is that? That's a nice little SVD. Oh, he's not gonna catch our kits, dude. I literally ran up to the edge of the water so that hopefully whenever my PMC went down, my body just fell in the water, dude. So I don't even think he's gonna be able to get our shit. He's not even gonna be able to get my dog tag, dude. Alright, now it's on to ground zero, dude. So I think I only need 3 shooterborns on ground zero, and then I am fucking done with shooterborns. Not done with snipers. I still gotta get a Psycho Sniper and Tarkov Shooter Part 8 done.
I've been working on Shooter 8. I've gotten it twice and then died before I could get out.
Oof. We'll do 2 nades for good measure.
I'm at customs right now, otherwise I'd go with you.
You're good. I'll be running it back and forth. Unless I catch my other 3 shooterborns in this one raid, which on ground zero, there's actually a decent likelihood that could happen, to be honest. Oh, it's a beautiful fucking thing, dude. I was supposed to play with JC earlier, man. I think it's a little too late though, man. I was working some shit off to the side. It took me quite a bit longer than I initially thought. Some work shit, man. Made a little bit of progress, but I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'll do it tomorrow after work. Not here at my fucking house, where I can't really make a whole lot of progress. Alright.
All this big change in order for their lives to really get on the right track. And so, feeling optimistic, Linda looked into the cupboard at her limited ingredients and suddenly realized she could actually do a quick bean casserole with just these couple of things. So she grabbed the cans and the flour, and she got started. About a half an hour later, Linda pulled a beautiful golden brown casserole out of the oven and set it on the counter to cool. And that's when her older son, Jeff, wandered into the kitchen to see if dinner was ready. Linda told him it was, but they needed to wait for Tim to get home from football first. And when she said that, Jeff sort of blew up at her. He said he was really hungry right now, and there was basically no food in the house, and so he couldn't even eat anything else to tide himself over. Like, come on, let me eat. Now, Jeff's reaction made Linda pretty mad, but at the same time, it didn't really surprise her. I mean, Jeff had been talking back to her a lot lately, and the two of them seemed to fight all the time. Linda knew he was sort of just being a typical teenager, and he was really hungry, you know, and so he's testing her limits. But she was just getting really sick of it. And so before she could even really think about it, she snapped back at him and said, well, if you don't like it here, you can leave. And at that, Jeff literally stormed out of the house and slammed the door behind him. Linda went to the window and watched her son pick up his bike and pedal off down the road. After that, Linda sighed.
I think there was a video I watched a little while back, dude. It was, fuck, I don't know how old the kid was. This boy, he was like 3 or 4, but he like yells at his dad and says, I'm gonna leave. And then he grabs his blanket and walks out of the house, gets to the end of the little sidewalk, starts screaming and crying and runs back inside. And the whole time he's just recording his kid with his phone or whatever, dude. I was like, I don't know, this shit was pretty funny.
Aiden walked over to her phone and called her mom. She assumed, Jeff, her son, would go to her parents' house since they lived nearby. And when Linda's mother picked up, Linda warned her that Jeff might be there soon and he'd likely want to eat. Her mom said that was fine and they would drop him back off after dinner. Then her mom said she actually was glad that Linda called because another letter came. And as soon as Linda heard that, she felt this wave of anxiety come over her because she knew what kind of letter she was talking about. So Linda's ex-husband and Tim and Jeff's dad, Frank Slayton, lived back in Alabama. He was a violent, abusive alcoholic, and they'd been divorced for 7 years. But Frank had never stopped harassing Linda after they broke up. And since Linda and the boys had moved to Lakeland, he had been mailing threatening letters to Linda's parents, saying that Linda had ruined his life. And so now Linda was thinking, like, no matter how many fresh starts she started, that Frank was always going to screw them up. He was never going to go away. And so after taking a calming breath, Linda told her mom on the phone to just rip the letter up. She didn't even want to read it. Not long after she hung up, her younger son, Tim, came in the front door. He was all sweaty and dirty from football practice, and right away Linda asked him, hey, did you thank your coach for giving you a ride home? And Tim said, yes, I did. So Linda, she didn't have a car because she couldn't afford one, and so Tim's coach always had to give him a ride, but Tim said, I thanked him like always, and so Linda told him to hurry up and eat because they had to go next door to the neighbor's party. Hours later, after 11 p.m. that evening, Linda and Tim walked home from the party through the dark apartment complex. There were 7 other people who had been at the party, and it had been a lot of fun. Everybody just drank iced tea and played cards while they talked about the perks of living in this great new complex, like the great business district across the street and how responsive the maintenance team was. So Linda was glad they went. She was also exhausted, and her sister always came over for coffee in the morning, so she needed to go to bed now or she would never wake up. However, when
Motherfucking work time, boys. We gonna kill the fuck out of these guys so bad, so hard. I see you over there, you fucking turd! Yeah, you better run, coward. I'm gonna lick your fucking friend's feet. I'm gonna lick the shit out of your friend's feet, bro. Well, that fucking hurt. We like to catch some angles. Fuck, I don't know if I can. Fuck! That was a bad angle. I was thinking about it for a sec. The spawn to my left could have easily had eyes on me. But we still got 1 kill though, so. We'll go back, take a look. Whoever did hit me in the noggin, he did have no helmet on. So whoever killed me, if they have a helmet on, it was probably that left-hand spawn. Oh no, he got me. No armor, dude! And I don't even get to lick his friend's toes, dude. Son of a biscuit. Well, enjoy the kick, guy. We're still gonna look. We're still gonna look at the replay though. Once we're loading in, I am a little curious if I can see him from when I was going up that. It was hard to like keep eyes down towards the enemy while going up that little narrow beam or whatnot. It wasn't super narrow, but it was narrow enough to where the first time I tried doing it, I fell off. But when I actually started going up, I started thinking about it. I was like, fuck, that spawn to the left could kill me if they decide to rush over there to that scientist building. I don't even know what to call out for that building is. Fuck, dude. I left those grizzlies out to heal. I keep healing through therapists. I don't even think it really matters because I'm not actually really dying as much. Well, no, that's not true. That had to have been a shooter born. Oh, fuck. No, it was a shooter born. Nice. Alright, good shit, good shit. I thought it was at 3 of 5. I'm like, dude, it didn't fucking count. I swear I shot him in the head, but... Let's go take a gander at this bad boy. Motherfucking work time, boys. We gonna kill the fuck out of these guys so bad, so hard. Fuck yeah, we were, dude. I was a little surprised I hit that shot, to be honest, though. I realized I was kind of in a bad position right here. There was no really good cover behind this car unless I crouched. I wanted to be to the right of this, which is, I believe, where I went after I killed the first dude. I just fucking missed it. See that? That didn't even look like I fucking hit him. That's gotta be like desync shit, bro. I see you over there, you fucking turd! That fucking turd
Yeah,
ain't a
you're
better
killing me.
run, coward! I'm gonna lick your fucking friend's feet! I'm gonna lick the shit out of your friend's feet, bro! He shot me in the fucking head right here, dude. Well, that fucking hurt. We like to catch some angles. See, I fell off it twice. Fuck! That was a bad angle. I don't know where he's at. I don't have eyes on him. Oh, I leaned left. He might have peeked this corner and my scope was like covering it. Is the only thing I can think of. Damn. That's whatever.
And she and Tim got back to their unit and opened up the door.
Oh. Work time, baby. Motherfucking work time, dude.
You want company on this? Oh, you son of a bitch.
In and out, baby. In and fucking out. We're about this business, dude. Head taps. Every shot. Alright, we have a spawn right over here yonder to my left. Your boy Wealthy sees a... Nope, that is not a blue laser. That is a blue light.
I'm surprised you're not using the suppressed one so you could do 8 at the same time.
7. I got that done earlier today. Oh, perfect.
Set it.
Poke your fucking head out of there, guy. Fuck, there's someone behind me. Santa, dude. Hello, good sir.
Hello, brother.
Don't kill me! Hey, can we team up?
Sorry.
Dude, what the hell? You promised not to kill me.
I did not.
Yeah, you did. Ah! Oh, fuck. I did not know he rotated around that way. I thought he was inside. That was well played. Dude, you can tag along. I'm going in and out, though, man, with the quickness. I've got like 10 kits built up. Back and forth, dude, because I want this shit done. Bone. Enjoy my meta ass, Marlin. Fuck, dude. Oh, 2 is not even here. We're gonna look over that. I'll try to explain what the hell I was thinking where that bad guy was at. He played that well though. Yeah, he did.
Hello, brother.
That was weird. I clicked on my OBS and it paused it. Oh, interesting. Alright, so the main reason I was trying to come in here was we had shots across the building. This stairwell can get you up 2 or 3 floors. I was going to go up there, look at it, and try to get 1 or 2 head taps for the shooter board. I was kind of curious earlier where the hell this spawn was. I kept hearing noise over here, but I thought it was Santa because earlier Santa came running by, so I just chalked it up to being Santa, just being Santa, but that was not the fucking case, dude. So I saw him earlier right there. Hello, good sir.
Hello, brother.
Don't kill me! Hey, can we team up?
Sorry.
Dude, what the hell? You promised not to kill me.
I did not.
Oh, I was hoping for that fucking shot right there, dude. Yeah, you did. Ah! So he can peek from like, yeah, like right over there, or at the hallway right here. If I had just aimed a little bit lower, it would have been a head tap. I believe the second shot I put off, he moved around, but it would have hit him in the head. Yeah. My thought process is, here in a second, I thought he ran in here to look above to try to kill me. I didn't know he went around that much. So you can aim outside of this if you get on top of the cabinets. I was going to walk up here, lob a nade in there, and rotate around. Completely caught me off guard. See, I thought he had ran in here. And I'm expecting him to start jumping up onto the cabinets over here. I didn't know he went to the outside, though. In hindsight, it makes sense because of the amount of running. I thought he was just running into the cabinets, though. There was literally nothing I could do at that point in time. That nade was out, and I was fucked. Fuck! I did not know he rotated around that way. I thought he was inside.
Or Linda froze because there was already
Where the fuck did 2 go?
somebody inside. For a second, she thought it might be an intruder, but then she realized it was actually just her older son, Jeff, who had come back. He was standing in the kitchen, leaning against the counter with a sort of "I'm sorry" expression on his face. Tim saw the situation and immediately disappeared into the second bedroom to give his mother and brother some space. Linda went to join Jeff in the kitchen, but Jeff didn't say anything. So Linda spoke first and reminded him that it was not good to go to bed angry. However, Jeff still didn't say anything. And Linda knew from experience with her son, it was better not to force Jeff to talk. So she decided she would just give Jeff a minute, and she began washing the dishes. Finally, after a few moments, Jeff mumbled that he loved his mom, and Linda smiled. She felt relieved they could just move on from this. She said it was all good and that she loved him too. Then they both said goodnight, and Jeff went over to the cot in the living room where he slept, and then Linda wrapped up in the kitchen, turned off the lights, and headed into her own bedroom, closed the door, and she went to bed too. The next morning at 8:30 a.m., Linda's sister, Judy Butler, walked up to Linda's duplex. They'd had coffee together every morning since they moved to the neighborhood, so Judy expected to knock on her sister's door and go right in like she always did. But this time after she knocked, nobody answered. So Judy...
Fucking work time, baby. Oh my god, I clicked on streets, bro. Fucker. I mean, at least you got a good spawn for it, though. You know what? No, I'm not fucking around.
Judy waited and then knocked again. And when there was still no response, Judy reached down and tried to open up the door.
I fucking hate when he puts like the knocking sound in his videos or any YouTube video. It makes me think someone's like here.
But she found it was locked. This had never happened before. Linda always answered the door, or at least called out in response. But Judy wasn't really worried. She just assumed, that Linda must have overslept or something. So Judy decided she would just go home for now and let her sister have a few minutes, and eventually she would call to check in on her and make sure she was okay. However, as she walked away from the home, she noticed something strange on the side of Linda's house. One of the back windows was missing a screen, and Judy knew that that particular room was Linda's bedroom, and it hadn't been like that yesterday. So seeing it now made her feel kind of uneasy, and so she went over to look inside. And when she looked inside, she saw her sister fast asleep in bed. And for a second, Judy was relieved, because this confirmed that this is all this was. Her sister had overslept, that's that. But then Judy realized there was something off about Linda, like the way she was positioned just seemed wrong. And when everything clicked for her, she staggered backwards and began to scream. By 9 a.m. on September 4th, 1981, a crowd of reporters and police officers surrounded the duplex in a Lakeland, Florida housing complex where a woman had reported seeing a dead body. In the middle of all the activity, Sergeant Edgar Pickett of the Lakeland Police ducked under some crime scene tape and headed to the home's walkway with a bag of equipment slung over his shoulder. So Pickett was actually just a year away from retirement after 2 decades as a detective, and for the last few years, he'd been the head of Lakeland's crime scene unit, which meant he oversaw the collection and documentation of evidence at crime scenes. And so he wasn't the lead investigator on this case, but when it came to forensic analysis and fingerprint collection, he was the best they had. He'd already been briefed on the situation and knew that this was very likely a homicide, and the victim had been identified as 31-year-old Linda Slayton. Linda had been found in her bedroom by her sister, who had asked a nearby maintenance worker to call 911. Pickett also knew that when the first responder got inside the house, they found that Linda's 2 kids were still asleep and appeared to have no idea their mother was deceased in the next room, which Pickett knew would give investigators somewhat of a timeline to start with. Linda was clearly awake when her kids went to sleep and must have died sometime during the night while her kids were still sleeping. As Pickett walked up the walkway, he passed by 2 teenage boys sitting in their pajamas on the ground. He assumed these must be the sons, and one of them just sort of stared ahead, seemingly in complete shock, while the other sort of sobbed into his brother's shoulder. Pickett wasn't sure if anybody had spoken to them yet, but he knew they would likely be really helpful in focusing his search for evidence. Since they lived in the house, they'd know the habits and patterns of everybody who lived there, and might be able to tell him if anything seemed out of place. So Pickett made a mental note to make sure to check in with the investigators inside about that. Then he looked at the house and took a deep breath. Pickett liked to get a sort of first impression of the crime scene before he did any actual collections. So before he would go in, he would walk around the entire house and sort of assess the building. He had been told that all the doors were locked when the police first got there. And from what he could see, the bedroom window with the missing screen was the only sign of a potential break-in. So he took out his kit and spent some time dusting around that window area for prints. But he didn't find much there, or any noticeable shoe impressions in the dirt outside. And then when he finally headed inside, Pickett quickly moved past all the officers and detectives that were already in there and went straight to the bedroom. And the first thing he saw when he got inside was Linda's body on the bed with a metal coat hanger wrapped around her throat. The sheets around her were covered in blood, and she was shirtless, and the bottom of her dress was pulled up. And when Pickett got closer, he saw where the blood had come from. There were long, very deep scratches on Linda's neck, which he guessed were from her nails as she tried to pry the hanger away. He'd have to wait for the autopsy, but it was clear from her wounds that the hanger had been used to strangle her. And considering she was partially naked and the positioning of her clothes, he guessed she had also been likely sexually assaulted. Pickett stepped back and looked around the room, trying to decide where to start. He needed to find as much forensic evidence in this room as possible, so the first thing he did was try and guess what happened and how the killer might have interacted with the crime scene. That way, he could follow their sort of imagined path with more intention. He figured the killer must have come in through the open window, since that was the only entrance into the house that was obviously tampered with. Linda's purse and jewelry were still on the dresser, and the drawers were all closed, as opposed to open and rifled through, so it didn't seem like the killer had touched any of that stuff, which also meant this likely was not a robbery gone wrong. In fact, it seemed like the first and only thing the killer had done was come in through the window and attack Linda. Because aside from the bloody bed, Pickett didn't see any signs of a struggle. So Linda was likely caught off guard by a very fast attack and unable to really fight back quickly, because if she did, the room would be a huge mess. But then Pickett caught a glimpse of Linda's closet, and he noticed the clothes were all hanging on metal hangers that looked identical to the one that was around Linda's neck. And that's when it hit him. The killer must have at some point been in the closet, hiding. He supposed the killer could have broken in first and then grabbed a hanger once the attack started, but that would have taken too much time and also given Linda a chance to get off the bed or fight back or yell out and maybe wake her sons up. It was much more likely that the killer had broken in earlier, hid in the closet, and then waited until Linda was in her bed asleep to come out and attack. If Pickett was right about that, this became definitely a premeditated, thought-out murder, which meant the killer must have either known Linda personally.
Alright, we are going to the right fucking map this time, dude. I was doing scavs earlier on streets, and maybe that's why I clicked on it. Granted, streets is just right below ground zero, so that is probably a factor.
Personally, or had been watching her, since they would have known when to sneak into the room and not be detected. At this point, Pickett took out his gear and began thinking how he was going to begin looking for evidence. He figured he would start at the window and spend some time there, and then he would go to the closet. Those would be his 2 primary areas. And so once he had that plan in mind, he went to the window and he began looking for evidence, and sure enough, after only a few minutes of dusting, he smiled. Because there, on the ledge, was a very clear, well-defined handprint. The following afternoon, over 24 hours after Linda's body had been found, Pickett sat in the precinct's fingerprint lab, comparing 2 sets of prints with a magnifying glass. He'd been at it for hours already, so his head was pounding. After processing the crime scene yesterday, Pickett had gone back to the station to review the evidence he'd collected. And while he was there, he decided he would go check in with the detectives to get an update on the case. And what they would tell him is they had spoken to the neighbors, as well as Linda's family, and they did have a few solid leads and a timeline. According to Linda's kids, the older son Jeff got dropped off at home at about 9:30 p.m. after being with his grandparents, and Tim, the younger son, and Linda had gotten back from a neighbor's party just after 11 p.m. They all went to bed around midnight, and neither of the brothers heard anything until the police woke them up the next morning. And all of this had led the investigators to agree with Pickett's initial interpretation of the scene, that Linda's attack was very fast. It seemed like she had not been able to even scream, or it would have woken up her sons. The autopsy report had also come in, and it confirmed Linda died from strangulation and was sexually assaulted. The medical examiner had also been able to collect semen from Linda's body, which meant they were definitely looking for a man here. And since this was now clearly a sexually motivated crime, it meant that anybody Linda had been romantically involved with was now suddenly a top suspect. After speaking with Linda's family, the detectives discovered that Linda had two serious ex-partners. She had her ex-husband, Frank Slayton, and an ex-boyfriend named Brendan Fowler. Frank apparently had abused Linda when they were married and still sent her very threatening letters. And Brendan was apparently very possessive with a bad temper, and Linda had broken up with him just 2 days before her murder. And so some officers were already out looking for both of these men, and Pickett was eager to get both of their prints. But for now, Pickett was actually more focused on Linda's neighbors. When the detectives had done their canvass initially, the neighbors they spoke to had confirmed that Linda and her younger son Tim were indeed at that party. And since these neighbors were some of the last people to see Linda alive, they weren't just witnesses, they were suspects. And so Pickett had collected fingerprints from all the men at that party who didn't have an alibi for the period of time after Linda went home. And that's what he was working on now, comparing those prints to the print he had found on the windowsill. So far, none were a match, but they had also gotten blood samples from the neighbors, and so Pickett would have to test those as well. So in 1981, DNA testing didn't exist yet, but investigators could figure out somebody's blood type through bodily fluids. So Pickett and his team could test those samples against the genetic material found on Linda's body and rule out suspects that way. But Pickett had
I thought there were 6. No, there's 8. Interesting.
had another reason for wanting to be diligent when it came to testing the people who lived in the complex. It was because after Linda's murder, like in the last 24 hours, there had been signs that the killer might actually still be in the area. At 3 a.m. that morning, one of Linda's neighbors had called in to say a stranger had broken into her house. And even though that person was gone by the time the police arrived, they could see her back door had clearly been forced open. And then another neighbor had called in to say that the screen on their window was pried open as well. None of them were violent assaults like Linda's, but the timing was very suspicious. And it made Pickett wonder if there was a serial predator living in
A serial predator. Motherfucker's coming towards me. Ooh. Got him. Does he just fucking take that round? Nope. He's got a fucking friend. I'm gonna touch your friend's body, dude. I did not mean to do that. Is there a way in from there? We're gonna reposition. It's actually, we're gonna do a little bit of looting. Yo! We're gonna kid up with their shit. And we'll push out. He threw teammates here. His first guy's probably Chad. I hope he has class 5 plates in here. Fuck. Who's the other dead dude? One, two. Third guy was over here. There must have been a fourth that rolled up. Because I didn't kill that guy outside. I'll probably toss their little MP5s. Damn, dude, I'm going ham with this little Marlin. Well, I don't know who the fuck that guy was, though. It's like a 995, interesting. one more kill. We gotta be careful. Player scavs are gonna be pulling up here shortly. Oh, that was fucking close. That fucking armor just saved my ass, dude. If I can kill this guy... That is Psycho Sniper plus Tarkov Shooter Part 7. Be a smart move if he went up the stairs. I don't want to kill him with the nade. He's going up top. Don't aggro me, Scav. Aggro the actual bad guy. You know what? I'd rather just die and potentially get my 5th shot. There is a way out of this. This is kind of fried. Oh, fucking lordy. Alright, what we're gonna probably do is we're going inside of a factory, AXMC, Zabralo. I'm gonna be so fucking juiced out right now. That would have been nice if I got that 5th kill. I could not get eyes on that motherfucker though. Oof. That was a little nerve-wracking. D3 Boy Kisser. SE70FUYW. CO King Piggy. Daddy Crux. They were all headshots too. Yeah, these fucking guys hurt me. What up, Scrappy? Bro, I just finished shooter board. I just finished with a Psycho Sniper. Now I need one more kill for Tarkov Shooter Part 7. 8. I'm gonna get so fucking geared, and I'm literally just gonna go into factory. Actually, Snow, did you want to tag along? Scrappy, can you tag along?
I'm eating right now.
Well, you could even be naked too, to be honest. Look at that shit, bro. Boom, boom. Some mechanic. The fuck is this task? Alright, we're gonna have to play this smart as fuck. We might put a smaller scope on, to be honest. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm not even coming in with that. Alright, yeah. We're gonna have to come with a Zabralo. I don't even know. It's tempting to come in with a we're gonna get this done. I'm not fucking around, dude. We got one kill. We're gonna use the AXMC or the Psycho. I don't know if I pulled something out of there. That's not good. I forgot I have all this in here. Yeah. is this the one we just checked? Looks like we do have one. We'll bring up a backup sniper too. We're just gonna go with a delta point. I need my factory key. I have no AP. How is that possible, bro? No! I mean, we could use FMJ, but AP is what I'm trying to go at, though. I don't think this can be. Yeah, you can't fucking get any. Ah, that's fine. We'll just do AP. Hope this fucking thing doesn't jam on me. You know what? We're probably gonna hotkey a green stem. It'd have been nice if I had some teammates coming with me, but it's whatever. If I get this done, I think I have Kappa. That would be huge if I did this right now. That's it. This is literally my last quest. I need one fucking kill, dude. We have a light on her too. Alright, we're gonna reset and then we're going in.
In the complex. The department had ordered some patrols in the area, and Pickett was supposed to get fingerprints for whoever they got calls about. So he was working with his radio right next to him. Pickett leaned back in his chair to give his eyes a rest. He knew he was getting pretty tired and would need a break soon. But just seconds later, a detective barged into the lab and told Pickett they needed him on standby for fingerprinting because they just brought Linda's ex-boyfriend, Brendan, in for questioning. Moments later, Pickett was standing outside of an interrogation room, listening as some detectives spoke with Brendan Fowler inside. Even though he couldn't see Brendan, Pickett could tell by his voice that he was not happy to be here. He sounded argumentative and defensive as he insisted he really had nothing to do with Linda's death. And when he was asked about where he was the night she died, he had an alibi. He said he was at home with his family, and he stayed there the whole night. He even gave detectives his mom's phone number and said they should call her to confirm it. Pickett heard the detectives confer in hushed voices. Then they asked Brendan if he'd be willing to take a polygraph test and let them take his fingerprints. And to Pickett's surprise, Brendan said, yeah, go ahead. And as soon as Pickett heard that, based on experience, he went right inside the room and got Brendan's fingerprints before Brendan could change his mind. On September 11th, so 1 week after Linda's murder, Pickett sat down at his desk and opened the newspaper, and what he saw made him cringe. The Lakeland police chief had just given an interview where he admitted they would not be making an arrest now or in the next few days. And reading that in print reminded Pickett of just how little they had in this case. None of the neighbors' prints had been a match to the one Pickett had lifted off the windowsill, and they tracked down Linda's ex-husband, Frank, but found that he was in Alabama on the night Linda was killed. As for Linda's ex-boyfriend, Brendan, he had seemed pretty guilty at first because during his polygraph, the results had been inconclusive, and his alibi didn't check out. His family had said he was home at one point on the night Linda was killed, but they all went to sleep and couldn't say for sure if maybe he left or not. But when Pickett had looked at his prints, he had no choice but to clear him, because they clearly were not a match. So now Pickett knew the entire investigative team was scrambling for leads, which was why Pickett was not surprised by what he saw when he looked up from his paper. He saw a detective leading a suspect out of a precinct interrogation room after clearly questioning him, and it was Linda's own 15-year-old son, Jeff Slayton, and he was obviously crying. Pickett had heard that Jeff was being looked into as a suspect in his mother's murder, and had already been questioned a few times. Detectives had started getting interested in him when a few of Linda's family members mentioned that, Jeff and Linda had been fighting a lot before she died. And when investigators looked back at the crime scene photos, they realized Jeff's cot in the living room shared a wall with Linda's room. So it was strange he hadn't heard anything on the night she had died. But as far as Pickett knew, Jeff had a reasonable explanation for all of this. He had said that he and his mother's fights were not that serious, and they did fight the night she died, but it was over some dumb argument over what time dinner was. And he said he had no idea why he didn't wake up when she was attacked, because he wished he had so he could have gone in there and helped her. And also Jeff had taken and passed a polygraph test. But for some reason, it's
This is fucking it. If I get this last kill, I have Kappa. Nice.
It seemed like the investigative team was not done with Jeff, and Pickett just sort of felt bad for the kid, because he thought it was very unlikely at this point that Jeff was his own mother's killer. Pickett had kids of his own, and from his own experience, the fights Jeff was having with his mom just seemed sort of like typical teenage behavior, squabbling with their parents. It's pretty normal. And it also just didn't line up with the evidence. Pickett was absolutely certain that the attacker broke in through the window, which didn't make sense for Jeff if he was sleeping right next door in the living room, and Pickett had personally checked Jeff's prints against the one he lifted from the window, and he knew it was not a match. As the days turned into weeks, Pickett was starting to become convinced that the killer might be somebody without a personal connection to Linda. Maybe it was even a stranger. He knew that murders by strangers were much more rare than murders committed by a relative, partner, or friend, which was why he assumed the detectives weren't pursuing it. But through his forensics, Pickett had now eliminated pretty much everybody in Linda's life who had a motive or opportunity to kill her. And Linda was a very attractive young woman who was very outgoing. Pickett thought it was possible the killer could be a stranger who had only interacted with her once and then sort of became fixated on her. It seemed possible. And so after Pickett watched Jeff leave, he tried to go back to the newspaper, but he kept thinking about Linda. He'd been sure this case would be solved quickly by forensics, but now he wasn't sure if it would be solved at all. And that worry only got stronger and stronger as the months went by and fewer leads came in. And before long, a whole year had passed, and it was actually time for Pickett to retire. And when he left the precinct for the last time, he sort of had a pit in his stomach, because he had a feeling that without him, Linda's case was going to get put on a shelf and forgotten. One afternoon in the fall of 2001, so 2 decades after Linda Slayton was murdered, Detective Brad Grice sat in his office at the Lakeland Police Department reading over Linda's cold case file. For the last 4 years, Grice had been sorting through the department's cold cases and choosing which ones to reopen. And this had been a really slow process, because he had to do that and juggle his active caseload. So even though he'd technically been working on Linda's case for years, he was just now starting to really dig into it. But the delay didn't worry him too much, since the whole reason this case appealed to him was because he was sure he could solve it quickly. Because it had DNA evidence. So back in 1981, when the murder actually happened, the genetic material that was found on Linda's body was only good for eliminating suspects through blood type. But now, in 2001, Bryce could use that same material to create a full DNA profile of Linda's killer. And he intended on reaching out to everybody involved in the original investigation to get their DNA to test against this new profile. But before he did this, he wanted to familiarize himself with the suspects from 1981. So there was Linda's ex-husband, Frank Slayton, who had abused Linda repeatedly during their marriage. And even though they had been divorced for years, he was apparently still sending her all these threatening letters around the time of...
One fucking kill and then I'm getting the fuck out of here, dude. I'm not even gonna touch the body. You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. It just reset. Damn. Should I have just reset? I don't even know. Whatever just killed me, it just full autoed my fucking head. That's so bad, dude. So fucking bad, man. Oh my god. I should have just fucking left. We're just gonna do it. Well, that was ass. That was so fucking bad. That was fucking horrible, dude. That was all I had left, too.